Hello again, YouTube viewers. This is Vicious Animal Thing doing another review today. Today I'm looking at the stand that I bought when I recently purchased that LG 55-inch LCD TV. And this is the Whalen 3-in-1 50-inch TV console. It actually supports up to 56-inch panels and up to 135 pounds. So my particular TV weighs 50 pounds without the stand, and I would assume that you could probably even use this for a 60-inch TV as long as it doesn't exceed the weight limit. But that goes without saying. Follow the instructions, follow the manual always, and limitations and that sort of thing. The particular model number is BBXLO2250BS or 0BS. This particular stand has 3 or even probably more configurations. I used this particular configuration, and this back pole or support, it actually includes 2. One is shorter and one's longer. And the TV, it does come with all the accessories and everything you need to do a wall mount TV stand or this style of stand. One nice little feature too, that it does have built-in wiring, routing, and management stuff that helps you clean up all the wiring and everything. For those of you that are looking to buy a stand like this and need to get it home somehow, the size of the box is probably about 55 inches wide. It's probably about 10 inches deep, and I guess if you want to call the last dimension the width, it's probably about 2 feet, somewhere around there wide, and it weighs about 100 pounds. So here's a lot of the kit that came with the stand, and there's the extra back plane. And when I pulled out all this hardware, I'm like, Jesus, that's a lot of stuff to be putting together. But what can you say? It's actually very comprehensive, and they include a lot of hardware that most likely you will not end up using, or as you would maybe use a wall mount, you won't use a certain hardware that would be for another configuration. So expect to have extra parts, but it's real nice. It comes with some spacers. It comes with a larger spacer that I used on my TV, and to mount the brackets to the TV. And again, I used this style. It comes with some cheap tools. This is all you will need to assemble it. You could probably use a drill or something if you wanted to. It's just really not that big of a deal. But here they give you some wood screws, some things you can put in the wall for the wall mounts, washers, and they include a couple extra parts, a couple extra suction cups, because this particular model does have glass shelves. Includes a safety bracket that you can mount. That's a lot of your things like this are including these today, probably for liability reasons. The instructions were really good, and if you follow them, you will get the stand together. I did not have any missing parts, and I did skip ahead a couple of times, like when I was tightening up the screws. When it says to finally tighten up the screws, I threw in the suction cups just to avoid having to bend down and do it again or whatever, save a step. But they're pretty detailed, and they're, as far as the English goes, they're pretty clear, and I was pretty happy with them. A lot of the parts have simple stickers on them like this, and they tell you the front, they tell you up, and the instructions refer to, like, this is D1, and the other one, the other plane which I used, or back plane or whatever you want to call it, is just D. So they did a really good job, and here you can see how you can put the wires in and pass them through this channel, And like there's holes on the front and back, is that, you know, depending on how exactly tidy you want to make things. So here's the final stand assembled, and the overall fit and finish is pretty good, and the shipping and handling, I did find a few scratches, a couple little dents here and there, a couple of mars. One of the glass had a slight scratch in it, but you know, it's not anything I'm going to make a real big deal over. Assembly was fairly straightforward, and everything lined up really well. You know, you got to take your time a little bit and make sure that you understand the angles of some of this stuff, because it does have the bent frame, or whatever the side panels, or whatever you want to call them. One other comment is, as far as the finish goes, in the store it really looked like it was a chrome finish that was a dark chrome. Some of you might understand what I'm talking about, and some of you probably won't. But it is actually a black glossy paint, and I don't know if this is actually different than it was in the store, and you know, just a difference in the box, or the, you know, the store's model might be 2 years old, and as time has gone on they've actually changed the process and now it's painted. I'm not too disappointed, but you know, it could have just been the lighting in the store or something. But it's important to note that it is actually black paint, and it's not kind of like a mirror finish. But you can see it's pretty shiny, it's pretty reflective, so you know, it could just be the more light on it, the more it might take on that chrome appearance. As far as the glass shelves, it does matter what side is up. The one side is tinted or painted kind of like a mirror, so you definitely want to make sure that you get the glass side up. And what I found was all of the they all have a tempered glass sticker, and that is on the glass side. So this TV stand has got a lot of features and a lot of adjustments built into it. Here you can see, as I was saying, those longer spacers. And you know, you want to be really careful when you mount this, because as you can see, I mean, there's not a whole lot of room in this TV, and if you use screws that go too deep, they will definitely make contact with your LCD actual screen. So take a little time and make sure that your bolts will work. This kit includes 3 different lengths of bolts, really short bolts, and a medium bolt, and a longer bolt, and bigger bolts and smaller bolts, all meant for these brackets. Just make sure that in smaller spacers and things like that, I used some extra lock washers here, although I don't really think it's necessary. But these 2 brackets actually bolt to the TV, and this is actually all bolted to the stand. So this is a configuration that allows you to pan and then also tilt. Here's these handles here. Each side has a handle that you would loosen and screw into place. But once these are bolted to the TV, this is bolted to the stand. You lift the TV, and if you can, it might be kind of hard to see, but you slide it, you just put it in here, and then there's these set screws that you tighten, and you don't have to over tighten them or anything here in this case, because it's just basically fighting gravity. There's a whole range of screw holes built into these that just will allow for a lot of adjustment. This is the highest that you can set the TV, the way I have it set up right now, I believe, because this here mounts with 3 screw holes. Now you could probably be brave and actually use 2, but I again follow the instructions. But you know, you can mount it in any 4 positions here. So that gives you a basic height adjustment. And then you also have height adjustments here. And the instructions had a little bit of guide on setting the height. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the wiring, but I did route, like this DVI cable's routed through there, and the power cable, and down there, I did some stuff just to kind of tidy it up a little bit, but again, I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing anything particular or that wonderful. So that pretty much wraps up my review of the Whalen 3-in-1 combination stand. I paid around $300 for it. You probably could find it, plus or minus $50, depending on where you might buy it from. I think it's a good stand. I like the glass, I like the style, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, and I really like it's got a lot of adjustability, and depending on even whatever parts you might or might not use, you might even be able to kind of use some of the parts for something else. So be creative, and this is Vicious Animal Things saying thanks for watching, and I hope this review was helpful. Leave a comment. Bye.